For too long, I've been parched of thirst and unable to quench it. Too long, I've been starving to death and haven't died. I feel nothing. Not the wind in my face, nor the spray of the sea. Not the warmth of the Ferrari's engine. You best be believing in ghost stories, Ferrari tifosis, 'cause we're in one. Hi, and welcome back to DDA on F1, where today we're going to be talking about the 2020 Spanish Grand Prix. As always, I would like to offer a huge congratulations to Lewis Hamilton for a dominant victory. If it wasn't for Valtteri Bottas needing the points so badly, he would have had a triple crown. That is pole, fastest lap, and race win. So congratulations to Valtteri for finishing third, but more than anything, congratulations to Lewis and the Mercedes team for recovering from what they would call a disaster at the 70th anniversary Grand Prix. The first thing I want to talk about is, for however boring you may have perceived the race to be, especially the race at the front, the midfield race wasn't that boring in particular. I think that if you actually watched the times and the different strategies and the different approaches that every team took to finishing as high as they possibly could in the race, minus one team, I think you could say that it was a very entertaining race, seeing just how different strategies played out, especially contrasting that with tire degradation and track evolution. It was actually a very entertaining race. Point number two, I know that after Silverstone, all the talk was about how Mercedes would fare in even hotter conditions at the Barcelona track. What we actually saw was a good team, a great team, the best team, deciding that they want to continue to be the best team. They found solutions to their problems, viable solutions to their problems, and they came up with a strategy and an approach to the race that absolutely won them the race, but also didn't really even show just how dominant they are. And I think we need to keep that in consideration. When we saw Max hanging with Lewis, he was only hanging with Lewis at the beginning of the race because that's what Lewis wanted. It wasn't because the Red Bulls were quick. It was because the Mercedes were going according to their plan. And their plan was to go as slowly as possible, saving their tires, and then absolutely ripping it when they needed to. Any moment that Lewis wanted to pull away, any moment, he just did. And it was not effortless. Obviously, Lewis has this thing where he makes things look kind of easy sometimes, but it takes great skill. And is it possible that Lewis Hamilton is getting better? Like 13 years in and he's getting better? Anyway, whatever your opinions on that are, comment down below. Let me know. Point number three. It's very interesting to see the correlation between the coronavirus and the F1 races. And I don't just mean not having fans and social distancing, but we were never supposed to be at Silverstone in August. We were never supposed to be at Barcelona in August. Teams approached the season in the winter and even in the end of last year with their thought on this season's car, according to just the characteristics of how the season is run. And with the coronavirus pandemic occurring, it changed everything. Suddenly, the Mercedes creating wonderful downforce, especially in their rear axles, creating wonderful ability to just get those tires into an operating temperature. Suddenly, that's a disability. Suddenly, they have to work around what is perceived as a huge strength, making it a hindrance and having to work around their own doings. And it's not because they did something wrong, it's because of this coronavirus. its track temperatures and track evolution and tire degradation just being completely off the charts from what it normally would be, plainly because we're at these tracks at a different time of the year. And as we go into the latter races, especially if we stay in Europe, temperatures are going to cool down. And I think Mercedes will be even more dominant because the temperatures that we're seeing now are going to be quite the opposite later on in the year, and Mercedes will be able to maximize that yet again. So it's very interesting to see the effect, not just the obvious effect that the coronavirus has had on the Formula One season. And to wrap up this little video, Mercedes fans, Renault fans, Racing Point fans, McLaren fans, Williams fans, Alfa Romeo fans, Haas, AlphaTauri, all you fans of those teams, congratulations. And you are excused from this video. Bye bye, have a good one. Ferrari fans, stay right here. Close the door. Bobbity boobity. Bobbity boobity, 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 bobbity boobity. Mamma mia! Bobbity boobity, bobbity boobity. Bobbity boobity, bobbity boobity. Bobbity boobity, bobbity boobity, bobbity boobity. No, seriously, guys. Just wanted to say the level of professionality and strategic nous shown by my team has been shockingly bad. Shockingly bad. Sure, you want to run Leclerc, Charles, that's my boy. That's my favorite driver. That's the guy I have my hopes on. And I had him last year. But if you want to run Charles and you want to run a good race for him, don't forget that points work in accumulation. So if Charles is scoring points and your other driver is scoring points, that's good for the team. So I'm not saying that you're sabotaging, don't get me wrong, but you're definitely not trying. The strategy has been, Ferrari strategy hasn't been good since the British people left in 2007 and 2008. Let's just be fair here. Italians are like, quanto basta? Babidi boobidi, babidi boobidi, babidi boobidi, babidi boobidi, quanto basta? Ah. Okay? And let's just say something here and just be honest. The engine last year just masked the problems that we already had, that already existed, that we already had to deal with, but the engine, getting the power down the straights that we had, kind of made it kind of easy to just react to what we had to do. But this season, we have seen some of the most, how do you ask your driver to push and then ask him subsequently, hey, you think you can save those tires to the end? You think you can go to the end? Like, I mean, we're trying to, I don't know, maybe get you in the points. Who knows? What is that? And this is not, before you go, oh, Vettel. Yes, Vettel doesn't help himself. I understand. And Charles was very unfortunate today. But if we were really racing for 6th place, what were we thinking about? That we were just going to run for 6th place and Vettel ends up wherever he ends up? That's not professional, man. That's not the way you do the sport. That's not how you maximize results, even if he's leaving. Get him some points. Get us some constructorship points. What do we think? What do we think is actually going to occur with this team in its current state? Sure, you want to say that Charles is getting wonderful performances, wonderful results. The fact that we're calling the places that he's achieving in a race massive and wonderful just speaks to the decrepitude of our hopes and dreams. Anyway, you've listened to me ranting long enough. Let's talk about the next race. The next race is more bad news for the rest of the field if you don't have a Mercedes engine, because the next race is the Belgian Grand Prix, the best Grand Prix of the season at the greatest F1 track of all time. If you don't agree with that, I'll send you my address and you can fight me. What you should know is that after the first turn at Spa, La Source, down the hill, up Eau Rouge, then Radillon, and then up the Kemmel Straight is one of the longest uninterrupted, flat, full throttle portions of the F1 season. And it's all uphill. The Kemmel Straight is completely uphill. And it's going to reward the Mercedes power to a point where it's not going to be funny. And on top of it, Spa is also known for high-speed flowing turns, which just so happens to be the historic advantage that Mercedes has had over everyone. So, yeah, I don't expect it to be anything but 2 black cars and maybe 2 pink cars with a blue car in between those pink cars. Maybe, if they're lucky, just 2 black cars and that blue car with a bunch of orange people screaming. If you don't get any of those references, I'm sorry. This video is too long already, so I'll catch you in the next one. I love you guys. I really do. Thank you for listening to me if you've listened to me up to this point, because you are amazing. Thank you. See you in the next one, guys and gals. Bye-bye.